Imagine you've been told by a writing teacher to not quit your day job because they aren't impressed by what you enjoy writing. In elementary school, no less. Well, that's the advice that this week's guest took to heart while still becoming a prolific, independent author. Hi, I'm your host, Garrett K. Jones, and for the third episode of Author Awareness August, I'm interviewing Australian writer and podcast host, Dzintra Sullivan. Hey, happy Saturday. I can't believe how quickly this last week has flown by. Between the previous two episodes featuring Amy C. Beckinsale and Tyler E.C. Burnworth, viewership has been up, and I want to thank you guys for that. I have just a couple of announcements for you. First up, Monday was the release of yet another great episode of Season 3 Storytellers. This one features a wonderful urban horror flash fiction piece by UK writer Marcus McKinley. Here's the promo. Now, if you want to get caught up on the podcast or you're interested in having your work narrated for an episode of the podcast, those links are down in the description box. Next up, it's time for the long-awaited release of the new cover art for Book 2, The Destiny of Dragons. A little background. I wrote the manuscript for this book starting in mid-April of 2009, a month before I graduated with my bachelor's in creative writing. I finished the initial manuscript, without edits of course, at 6 p.m. New Year's Eve 2009. That right there is my record for writing a book. Well, here's the original cover art. And here is the updated version, which keeps its themes from the original to some extent. The next two pieces of cover art will be launched in 2 weeks on the final episode of Author Awareness August. But if you want to get a sneak peek, you can do so by becoming a channel supporter. I'll explain more about that at the end of this video. Before going any further with the video, be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon for notifications on new videos. You can select notifications for all videos, or you can select notifications based on your preferences. If you're watching on your phone, be sure to update those settings inside the app itself to get the most out of your viewing experience. Hi Dzintra, thanks for joining me. Tell me about your work. What do you write?
Hi Garrett, welcome to my office, of course, Berry, where all my official interviews are done. Only the most important people get to come in the back of my car. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me. What do I write? I write books. I've written now, I just published my 16th, I've got my 17th coming out in 2 weeks, and 18th, 19th, and 20th. Before the end of the year, I will make my 2020 goals, no matter what COVID says. What do I write? What in genre? I write paranormal romance would be my love. Although lately I have discovered an entirely attachment to the murder mystery genre. So that may be more of what I write coming up. Stay tuned.
So how did you get into writing? Was it a lifelong dream or a recent passion?
What did I get into? How did I get into writing? I'm not quite sure Well, my English teacher told me that I better find a trade to do because writing was not something, or English wasn't something I was very good at. Go figure. Was it? So I hear a lot of people who will say, "Oh, I was writing from the age of 6 and 8, and that's beautiful. I love it." I'm a big reader. I was always a big reader. I was never had the intention to ever write a book in my life, until I met a character who came to me, and she wouldn't leave me alone till I wrote her book. So I wrote her book. She hit #1 within 24 hours, and I've never looked back since.
What are some of your inspirations as a writer?
What are some of my inspirations while writing? I get inspired from anything and everyone. I don't write like most people. I don't create characters. I don't create universes. I don't create worlds of phenomenal mystery. I don't do it that way. The character comes to me, they introduce themselves, they slide up like they would at a bar, like you'd meet them at the frozen food section in a grocery store. I don't create them, they choose me. So while that may sound nuts, it's a badge I wear with honor. So they inspire me with their stories. I just write them down. That's all. Although when I am writing music, I can't write without music. It's a symbiotic relationship within my head. Words come with music. Music comes with words. Although can be a little tricky if I'm at work, my day job that is, and certain music plays, and then the characters start talking, and I'm like, what you doing? I gotta work. You gotta stop. I have to change the radio station. It's quite bizarre. I'm bizarre.
What has been the hardest part or biggest challenge in the creation of your work?
Biggest challenges in writing. In my writing? Marketing. Marketing's always going to be the biggest challenge for any writer. Getting people to read your books. You can write the best book in the world unless you can get it in front of people's eyes. It's difficult. To continue. I don't find the process of writing very difficult. I as I just said, the characters choose me. I just write their stories, so that they come very easily to me. And finishing a book in 2 to 3 weeks is not unheard of, especially if they're very loud and I have time. However, other challenges that I have would it be exactly that. Time would be my challenge. I have a very demanding day job, so when it's the busy season at work, juggle that with 4 kids. I'm time poor. I am time poor. I slip it in whenever I can, and that sounds really dirty, and I didn't mean it to sound really dirty, but I'm going to let it hang there because that's the kind of author I am.
Phrasing?
If you could give any advice to other would-be authors out there, what would you tell them?
There's so much advice out there, and honestly, you can pick and choose what suits you, depending on what stage you are at your writing career. My biggest advice would be to stay true to yourself. Keep your authenticity, no matter what. There's the industry's so swamped with books. There's a bazillion books out there. There's a bazillion romance, paranormal, murder mystery. It doesn't matter what genre you write, sweetheart. There are bazillions, and it's an accurate figure, books out there. The thing that makes yours different is you. Keep your voice, keep your uniqueness. Everything else will be fine. That's my advice. Thank you for having me, Garrett. I really, really enjoyed being part of your vlog, and I hope I get to be invited back again soon. I hope you enjoyed my office. Bye.
A big thank you goes out to Dzintra for her willingness to participate in this Author Awareness August interview. I don't know about you guys, but I loved her office, mainly because I found myself working from my car before, and there's this great sense of privacy, especially if you, like me or Dzintra, deal with kids. If you're interested in picking up copies of her work, you can find all 16 of her currently published titles by clicking the link below and going to her Amazon author page. If you'd like to connect with her on social media, you can do so by finding her on Twitter at Dzintra Sullivan. And of course, she's got a fantastic book and literature podcast called What the Book. I follow and listen to it, and I find a lot of insight from what she and her guest hosts have to say. Hey, thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, please make sure to like and share this video, because that's how this channel is going to grow its viewership. Now, if you find yourself in a position to do so, please consider becoming a channel supporter by clicking on the link down in the description box and going to patreon.com/GKJ Publishing. On that site, you will find support tiers of $1, $3, and $5 each. Each tier comes with its own sweet perks, plus you get recognition on that final video of the month. What tiers share right now is that you'll have early access to the new cover art for Book 3, The Rise of the Shadowkin, and Book 4, Hadrian Corvus of Farfell, before I broadcast them in 2 weeks. Don't forget to register your short story or poetry for Season 3 Storytellers, and make sure to connect with me on Instagram and Twitter at GKJ_publishing, and I will see you guys next week for the next episode of Author Awareness August, featuring an interview with NYC-based author GM Nair. The vlog of the Five Kingdoms is filmed without the use of a live audience at Skyrocket Studios in Hanford, California. We can't do what we do without your help, so please make sure to subscribe by clicking the button that's above my head, and make sure to watch and share the videos over here to my left. Have a great week.